Hey, welcome back to Bodlin Blues. We're doing another hunk of meat today. It is Saturday. It's almost 1:30. I'm late getting this started, so it's going to probably be finished up in the dark again today. But you can see I already seasoned this one up. This is a big piece of pork. This is and it's got a bone in. You know, right there. You can see there's a bone right there. This is a shoulder. There's a big hunk of bone right there. Okay, it's in there. Now all I've done is I use the same seasoning I usually use. For this. It's a little messy in the kitchen. Jonathan did some cooking last night, and he made us dinner, and it was really good. It was a Russian type meal, type thing, and he burned himself with grease in the end. But so we're still kind of recovering the kitchen from that. Then steak and chop rub. First select. It's just basic rub. I've gone through it before. I didn't show you the whole process again because, you know, go look at some of my older videos from where I was doing this. But I'm going to smoke this thing up for quite a while. And we'll kind of keep track of it. I'll be back later. Okay, so I'm doing this pretty much the way I usually do these. I have right here with a pan of water underneath here. And then I have my coals on this side. I'll be adding wood later. Right now it's really hot in there. It's let those coals whiten up, and I had quite the pile, so it's a little hot. But for the start, that'll be okay. I'll take the grates off here later on. I just wanted to kind of sanitize them up a little bit because it's been a while since I've used it. I'll take the grates off, and for that side, just to make it easier to feed wood onto it. So you notice I put the fat side up. Okay, and that was deliberate. So it's going to be a long while before I do anything else with this. Probably at least an hour. It's going to be, 4 hours like this. So just keeping the temperature right. Right now we're hot. We're probably about, I would have to say it's kind of hard to tell with this thing because I really don't treat it right. That thermometer got all wet and fogged up. It says 295 there. This thermometer is, if you remember right, it's actually a full 100 degrees off. Yeah, it's probably going to hit right around the 400 mark on the thermometer over here as it climbs. Ooh, that's warm. You can imagine that is hot. And then, I've closed down the vents already though since then. So it should show right around 400 to 350, which will be 250 to 300, which is kind of where I want it to be. So we'll be checking on it routinely, and I'll catch you in a while. Okay, so pork's been on there for a few minutes. It's kind of hard to see the dial there, but it's showing about 400 degrees all under, and it's just starting to show a little reaction to it. Yeah, this is the whole point. Is just now the temperature's down a little bit. Now I'm going to come out and I'm going to throw some wood chunks on this side, which means these grates have to go. Okay, so we got some wood on there. It's going to write the temperature. We're going to close her up. Let that smoke get around that meat. I don't really have that much wood. That might cause a problem today, but we're going to go for it anyway. So, anyway, you can see where I have the stack at right now. And then the side there. Ooh, that thing's got a little yucky looking mess. Okay. So, there it is. That's where we're at right now. So I wouldn't mind having some more. We may make a quick trip. I need to make a trip to the store anyway for some other stuff. So might pick up some more. I still have a piece of that on there from when I first got it. That's funny. This paper. That's funny. Anyway, so we might make another trip to the store here soon and pick up some more wood chunks. Like I said, I need a couple other things anyway. So we'll see what happens here. But we'll have to get to a point where it's going to be good for a while before I can do that. Okay, we're about 2.5 hours in right now, and I'm going to pop outside, take a look. Temperature right now is just under 300 degrees. Hang on a second here. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see. Okay, so always remember this thing's 100 degrees off. So there's no smoke coming out of here, which means that we need to feed that a little bit. Holy cow! Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. The only thing that's happening here, you can see this happening right here. This is because this grate here is on top of it. And, that's not optimal. But we're going to live with that. This not much I can do about that, really. Maybe I'll pull it forward, see if there's something I can do. Maybe there is. I'll pull the whole hunk of meat forward here. I'm going to feed this thing here and see what we can get going on here. We're losing the crust here on this part, this section of it. But it is looking awfully nice. So I don't think anybody should be complaining about that hunk of meat right there. So, okay, so I moved it forward, just close the lid to make sure it work out, and it looks like it's going to be okay. Lid's not going to come into contact. Put a little bit of wood in there, and we should be okay here. Just kind of looking at it. Yeah, it's still going to come into some contact with it. But yeah, it's a big hunk of meat. What do you do? What a mess my yard is right now. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let me see. There's a bone over here. It's starting to stick out a little bit. And this bone here is sticking out a little bit. Separating out. Man, that's looking good. We're going to check temperature.
Okay, so that.
Hey, we're going to wrap this in foil here now. And finish it off that way. Okay, so you can hear some lawnmowers and stuff going, but this stuff is ready. Holy cow, it's showing 209 degrees on that hunk of meat. And we're gonna feast. Oh yeah, that is some good pork right there. So we're gonna feast on this tonight, and probably several nights here on. So if if you want to do up a big pork shoulder, this is a great way to do it. And this is probably 10 pounds of meat here, I think, as I recall. And this stuff's not that expensive. But it's starting to rain a little bit. It's getting a little damp out here. I'm going to get this inside and let this thing cool and call it a day probably. So God bless. Talk to you later. Hope you enjoy.